That night, if I hadn't opened that door, I wouldn't be here today. Hello, everyone. I wanted to share my story with you today, hoping it might bring comfort to someone who needs it. My name is Margaret, and I'm 73 years old. I live alone in a small apartment overlooking the harbor in Portland, Maine. My husband Robert passed away 3 years ago from a sudden heart attack. I can still feel his hand squeezing mine in that ambulance, his last words telling me he loved me. After Robert died, my son David kept insisting I move in with him and his family in Boston. Mom, you can't live alone. Come stay with us. But I refused every time. I'm fine, honey. This is the home I shared with your father. I'm staying. I couldn't leave this place. Robert's running shoes still sat by the door. His flannel jacket hung in the closet. Sometimes I'd bury my face in it, searching for his scent, and cry for hours. 3 years passed like that. Mornings, I'd turn on the TV for company. My neighbor Mrs. Chen from the corner store would sometimes bring me leftovers. Evenings, I'd heat up a can of soup or just skip dinner entirely. I'd stopped caring about being hungry. Nights were the worst. Lying alone in the dark, staring at the ceiling until dawn. Recently, I'd been forgetting things. Did I eat breakfast? Did I turn off the stove? Once, Mrs. Chen had to rush up and turn off my burner before something caught fire. Margaret, this isn't safe. You need to call David. But I shook my head. Inside, though, I was scared. What if I collapsed here and nobody found me for days? It was mid-February, a rainy Thursday night. The rain had started around 6 and grew heavier as darkness fell. I was in bed with my electric blanket turned to maximum. The cold had been brutal lately. That's when I heard it. A sound outside my door. At first, I thought it was the wind. But then I heard it clearly crying. A dog's whimper. Whine, whine, weenie. Low and desperate. Something was scratching at my door. I got up and peered through the peephole. Too dark to see clearly. But there was white fur visible at the bottom of my door. Who's there? No answer. Just louder crying and more frantic scratching. I hesitated. Should I open it? It was almost midnight. What if this was some kind of trick? But that crying was heartbreaking. I couldn't ignore it. Hold on. I cracked the door open with the chain still on. A large white dog sat there, soaking wet. Looked like a Great Pyrenees mix. Big as a small pony, with matted white fur and sad brown eyes staring up at me. Where's your owner, buddy? The dog just whimpered again and pawed at the door. If Robert were here, he'd have let the dog in without hesitation. He was always bringing home strays, feeding neighborhood cats, leaving out birdseed in winter. All right, come in. I opened the door fully. The dog walked in carefully, surprisingly calm. Didn't bark or jump, just looked at me and wagged its tail slightly. I grabbed old towels and dried the dog off. That's when I noticed the collar marks on its neck and the rough, worn paw pads. This dog had been wandering for a while. I found some leftover chicken and rice in the fridge and put it in a bowl. The dog ate slowly, politely. Definitely had been trained. You had a home once, didn't you? I set up a blanket in the living room. The dog settled down but kept watching me with those intelligent eyes. We'll find your owner tomorrow. I promise. I went to bed but couldn't sleep. A strange dog in my apartment felt surreal. Eventually, exhaustion won. Suddenly, I woke to something tugging hard on my sleeve. The white dog was at my bedside, pulling on my pajama sleeve with its teeth. What are you doing? Stop it. But the dog wouldn't stop. It started barking loudly. Woof, woof, woof. Quiet. You'll wake the whole building. Then I smelled it. Burning plastic. I jumped up and ran to the bedroom. Smoke was seeping from under my bed. The electric blanket's cord had overheated, scorching the mattress cover. Another few minutes and my whole bed would have been in flames. I grabbed pots of water from the kitchen and doused the smoking area. 3-4 trips back and forth until the smoke finally stopped. I sank to the floor, trembling. Without that dog, I would have died in my sleep from smoke inhalation. Or burned alive. Thank you, I sobbed, hugging the dog tight. Thank you, thank you. The next morning, Mrs. Chen told me the dog's story. That's Winston, Margaret. Belonged to old Mr. Patterson down by the wharf. He died of a heart attack last week. His nephew tried to take Winston to a shelter, but the dog escaped. Been roaming the neighborhood ever since. My heart broke. This dog had lost his owner, just like I'd lost Robert. Can I keep him, Mrs. Chen? I think you should. You saved each other. I called the nephew, who was relieved Winston had found a home. That day changed everything. Winston became my family. Every morning, he'd greet me with his tail wagging, giving me a reason to get up. We'd walk along the harbor together, and neighbors would stop to chat. A week later, David called. Mom, Mrs. Chen told me you got a dog? Yeah, Winston. He saved my life, David. I told him about the fire. David went silent. Mom, I'm coming to visit this weekend. With Sarah and little Emma. We want to meet Winston. I cried happy tears. 3 years since they'd visited. That Saturday, 7-year-old Emma fell instantly in love with Winston. David and his wife Sarah noticed something I hadn't realized. Mom, you're smiling again. You look alive. I petted Winston's soft white fur. He gave me a reason to keep going. After they left, I walked Winston to the harbor at sunset. The sky blazed orange and pink over the water. Robert, can you see this? I whispered to the sky. You sent him, didn't you? Thank you. A warm breeze touched my face, like Robert's hand on my cheek. I understand now. Living well is the best way to honor those we've lost. Being happy is the greatest gift we can give them. So I keep living. Walking Winston every morning, drinking coffee in the sunshine. Answering Emma's video calls with a smile. If you're going through hard times, remember this: miracles come when you least expect them. Don't close your door. Don't close your heart. Someone might be coming to save you. That night, I opened my door. And it changed everything. Thank you for listening to my story.